Good morning, world. This is Ivan Mayer here again. It is what 3:30 in the morning. So this video will get uploaded around I don't know 7 in the morning around there. 7 in the morning today. 8 in the morning around there. I'll upload the video. Once I make this video, I'll watch it myself, enjoy the show, and then I'll upload it for you guys to watch early this morning around I don't know 7 in the morning. So this video will be done around like 5 o'clock. I'll watch it. By the time I'm done, it'll be like 7, and I'll go to bed. Try my best to sleep, obviously, with Regis crying, obviously. And then what? And I'll upload the video around 7, 8 o'clock for you guys to watch. For you guys to watch on YouTube. I'm gonna keep saying this, world. You better enjoy this what? This stupid listening series, Why So Gang. Because once I'm king, I'm taking off the throne my wife. And I'm gonna live my life, my billionaire life, my wife, and I'm gonna what? Start Sky Source. I'm gonna make that Last Rosanian story. Last Rosanian's movie, obviously, billionaire budget movie. I'm gonna experience that fame with the fans, with the actors and directors, and you guys are all left behind. Whereas the crew for Lord of the Rings and the actors for Zanus and the directors, my 17, they're all going to be saved. Whereas you guys will not be saved, you'll be left behind. And you're gonna pay this horrific price. You made me pay to be with my wife, you're also gonna pay too. I'm gonna keep saying that. You made God pay to be with his wife when he deserves. I deserve VJ free, obviously. You made me pay all because you're MV. And so when I'm king, you're also gonna pay when I'm king. You're left behind about my God. I'm keep saying that. You see what I'm saying? Huh? Yeah, man. You better enjoy. Trust me, Ivan. You're still popping out listening videos. Yeah, the year and a half is gonna go by very fast, guys. We're already what? We're already almost what? We're more than halfway into 2021, guys. Like, time is flying by very fast, man. We're already going into 2023, guys. In 5 months, we'll be going into Christmas. Will happen again. You have New Year's, and it's gonna be the year 2023, man. Yeah, time. The clock is ticking, obviously. 2024 around now, I'll pay the fee. I'll see VJ probably end around 2024 or 2025. And then we're gonna what? Build that dream condo, buy our yacht, buy our jets, lease our nice cars, buy nice clothes, and we're gonna hire George Lucas, and he's gonna help us plan out SkySource. Before you know it, I don't know, 2026 around there, I start SkySource, and I'm hard at work in the office for the Last of Us movie project. You know what I'm saying? And you world are taking for granted. Because once I'm king, guys, I'm gonna forget about my old life. I'm gonna forget about this Savage channel, man. Because now I'm trending worldwide with my wife every day wherever I go. You know what I'm saying? Videos and pictures constantly trending of me and VJ online. Yeah, man. Feeling on top of the world, living the billionaire life with VJ in spite of the mess, and what? We're living that amazing life. You see what I'm saying here? I'm gonna totally forget about my old life, guys. Hence why that boss told me, Ivan, remember me. Yeah. When I'm king, I'm gonna be feeling so on top of the world. All these people in my life who knew me are like, oh my God, is Ivan even remember me? All my so-called friends, the people who I worked with, my bosses, the churches I went to, the families that came to my household for Christmas and dinners and all that stuff, they're all gonna remember. Yeah, I remember Ivan. Yeah, I remember Ivan back when he was poor. Yeah, we're fucking evil, man. Like, you know, when Ivan was lost, we didn't bother to tell him that his family were the gatekeepers, the richest family in the world. We didn't bother to tell him that he's God. We didn't bother to tell him that he has a wife. You know, he's separate from his wife. We didn't bother to tell him that the doors are locked on him, and Ivan had to figure it out. I had to figure out everything myself. As you guys would have never told me about the game because you're fucking evil people, man. You know, we're fucking evil. We're willing to have you stay poor for the rest of your life, while we get and have you separate from your wife, obviously, while we get to live our life with our fucking husbands and girlfriends. You guys are fucking crazy people, man. Fucking selfish people. You want your full cake no matter what, man. So while you get to have your moments with your boyfriends, girlfriends, and boyfriends, obviously, and your husbands and wives, Ivan and VJ can't be together until you see them both have sex, obviously, and what? You know what I'm saying? And you're willing to keep Ivan poor for the rest of his life. You're willing to keep me poor, guys, for the rest of my life working minimum wage. the door's being completely locked on me when I'm fucking God, because you're fucking on. You guys get to make your money, and you're not even fucking God, man. Because you guys are crazy people, man. Yeah, man. That was your plan. Hopefully, we keep Ivan lost and poor till he's like 50 and he forgets about VJ, or we dupe him into selling and we get our full cake, and he gets a garbage wife. We see his glory, and he doesn't get the glowing beauty. He doesn't stay young forever. He gets garbage sex. VJ sees hell. They're sharing with the world. Their relationships destroyed. Yeah, the Seth families control their finances. We see their flesh when we dream about them. Yeah, you want your full cake no matter what, man. You're fucking crazy people, man. But because God, I wrote my own story at 22 years old, at 26 years old, I woke up. 2018 was the year I woke up, obviously, and I figured out the whole puzzle piece of the game. And the whole time I happened to be writing my own fantasy novel, and I finished my novel like last year. And now I'm working on my novel with my younger brother. I'm almost halfway through the book. End of the month, I'll be close to halfway through the book of my Xanon story. We're July 14th. By the end of the month, I'll be close to, I don't know, about 240, 50 pages into the book. I'll be about halfway into the Xanon story, into my book, obviously. And that's why I should be done by the end of the year, or early, I don't know, late January, maybe early February around there. I'll be done going over my whole book, and I have to go over it again with my youngest brother for typos. And that would probably take another 2 months. Then after that, I have to get it copyrighted, and after that, I have to get it formatted. We have to reformat it again. You know what I'm saying? Once that's done, by the end of 2023 around there, I should be done my whole process, obviously. And in 2024, I'll let my parents know, hey guys, I'm done my book, and they're gonna eventually sit me upstairs. And your true demonic nature will show, and you're gonna trap me with sharing her death. I'm gonna cry my heavy tears and choose death. And once I come from death, you got your mess, and you killed me, and now I'm living my life in peace now, and you're left behind. You're not saved. I'm gonna keep saying that. Yeah. Hence why VJ cries heavy tears every night, because she's desperate, obviously. Because VJ knows. VJ's not stupid. VJ knows I have the option to just run off and be my own, man. I don't even have to save my wife, man. I can just run off on my own and just be on my own, and I don't have to deal with VJ's mess, man. I can just run off on my own and live on my own, man. Live the billionaire life on my own, and I'll start Scarsons on my own. I don't have to save VJ. I can just run off and just live on my own. I don't have to deal with her mess. You see what I'm saying? If I did that, I'd crush my wife, obviously. You see what I'm saying? VJ would be crushed. She would cry heavy, heavy tears every night and annoy me, obviously. She would annoy me forever, obviously. Because VJ can live forever like me, obviously. She's God. She would never get to see her husband, and she'd see hell forever. I would crush my wife. She'd be left behind like everyone else, and she'd be a trashy punch on Hollywood. Have a sabotage her career, and she'd be left behind. You see what I'm saying? And I would crush my wife if I ran off like that, man. You see what I'm saying? I would crush my wife, man. I would crush my wife. Crush her, man. I would crush my wife. Yeah, that's how evil you guys are, man. You trap me with fucking sharing her death. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Either way, it's bad for Ivan. Either he shares and his relationship's destroyed, or he suffers death, a heavy price death, obviously, with his wife. And I'm brave and I choose death. And the moment I make that choice, I'm going to cry heavy tears because I now know death is my fate. I know now in a good 8, 9, 10 months, in a year's time, I'm going to die. It's a horrific thought, man. Every night when I sleep, I'm going to think about that day. You put me through that horror, and then you think after doing it, I'm going to make bills for you because you're fucking crazy people, man. You keep my channel sabotaged with what? 9 subscribers, you don't talk about me in the public eye. You act like I watch it, you think I'm going to save you when I'm king because you're crazy people, man. You're not going to be saved. You're going to be left behind. I'm going to keep saying that. You're not going to be saved. You're going to be left behind. You're going to pay a certain price, obviously. Anyways, enough about me exposing you guys. I think you guys know that once I pay this fee, okay, you want to turn, if you want to turn a virgin man into a porn star all because of your selfishness and you want to see him have sex and all you women Hollywood want me so bad, fine. Do what you got. Do what you got to do. If you want to trap me with sharing or death, I didn't do anything wrong, all because of your envy. I'm gonna choose death. And once I paid my dues and you got your bullshit sex from Ivan, and I suffered death, I'm gonna take my money and take my wife, and I'm living my life, and you're left behind. That's all I'm gonna say, guys. Is you better stop taking for granted. It's a countdown's ticking, guys. You're not gonna be safe when I'm king. You're gonna be cast off in the back of my glory. Anyways, let's talk about my Zanus movie again. I love talking about Zanus. I love talking about it. How long? I don't know. I might do maybe a 1 hour video. If I can speak for if I have more energy, I might do maybe an hour and a half video. But I might do maybe a 1 hour video to this morning, and I'll watch it on my TV because my file saved on my phone. And then around 7, 8 o'clock when it's set time, upload the cord. I will what? I will upload the video for you guys to watch, like I did yesterday. And I'll sleep, wake up around 4 or 5 o'clock, and I'll make another video, obviously. And you guys will enjoy that show too, obviously. Yeah. So let's talk about Zanus. So once I paid his fee to Carve from Death, and I made my nice, I don't know, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, $15 billion off my book. You know what I'm saying? And Planet Scars with George Lucas. I build my buildings, my studio office, obviously where I'm going to be working, in my special effects unit building where the special effects team will work. Buy my nice land, obviously, my nice docking area, build my nice docking area for my yacht, freeway area for the jet, obviously. I'm going to hire either Peter Jackson or Mel Gibson to direct my movie. And they're going to be the boss of my movie. I'm going to make Peter Jackson or Mel Gibson the executive producer of my movie. So me, VJ, and Peter Jackson will be the executive producers, or Mel Gibson, of the Zanus movie. And then Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni or the Russo brothers, whoever I hire, will be the co-executive producers. You see what I'm saying? And then the other guys are my assistant producers. And my secretaries are my co-assistant producers. Guillermo del Toro, if he's hired, I'll have him be my co-assistant producer too, to help out the 7 team. Obviously. And then I'll hire that Barry guy, the Barry Osborne guy, whatever his name is, the guy with the glasses. Remember the guy with the glasses in Lord of the Rings? I'll hire him. I'll give him a call. I'll have him be my assistant producer. Pay him a nice $400,000 to help out your 7 team during the 3rd year and 4th year. Obviously. And I might hire that Fran woman, Peter Jackson's partner. You can have her be the assistant producer too. Pay her $400K. Good paycheck for those two guys. That's a good paycheck for an assistant producer. As for Lord of the Rings, that Barry guy probably only got like maybe $200K or something like that. $100K as assistant producer. Whereas I'm going to pay him a nice $400,000, which is a nice paycheck for an assistant producer. He's walking away with a nice, like, I don't know, $200,000 check in his bank after taxes. It's nice with the rates, and he's just a nice paycheck for that Barry guy and the Fran woman. Have the Fran woman be the assistant producer. Have her help out your 7 team and Peter Jackson or Mel Gibson. You see what I'm saying? That's enough. I'm not going to hire like 20 producers. You're wasting money. Those 2 assistant producers are enough, and they'll be helping out my 7 team. My 7 team with all the business. Okay, you guys are handling all the business, the 3rd year and 4th year. You have to help them out, handle everything. You see what I'm saying? Because once production starts, Peter Jackson, me and my wife will not have time to handle all the business. No, man, Peter Jackson will be focused on the creative. The 4th year, he's gonna have to focus on what? Directing the movie, obviously. So while he's directing the movie, you have to have people handle the business for him, obviously. Handle the business for me, VJ, and handle the business for Peter Jackson or Mel Gibson. And that's why you hire 2 assistants to help out your 7 team. That way they're not stressed. Their 7 team are not stressed out. Because you're looking at a lot of stuff to handle, man. You're looking at a big project. That's why you can hire 1 or 2 assistant producers to help them out. To help out Peter Jackson. Hire that Barry guy. Pay him $400K. $200K the 3rd year, $200K the 4th year. You can pay him a nice paycheck. Have him be the boss. Okay, look, man, you guys are the boss after the 7 team. Tell the Barry guy and that Fran woman, whatever it is, tell them, okay, after the 7 team and Peter Jackson, you guys are the boss. You're the boss over all the crewmen, and you're going to be overseeing all the business. Help out the 7 team guys. That way you take the stress off the 7 team. And the 7 team are the boss over them. You see what I'm saying? The 7th team will be the boss over them. The 7th team will be the boss over them. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. So Peter Jackson and Mel Gibson will be competing for the directing job, the executive producing job, and the co-writing job for my last Zane's movie. Once they read my book, trust me, they're gonna want to get their hands on my story so bad, because I wrote a masterpiece. You're looking at a better story than even J.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings. The Last of Zane's is a masterpiece. And that's why Peter Jackson and Mel Gibson are gonna want to get their hands on my story badly. Oh my God, I even wrote a masterpiece. I want to get my hands on this story badly. Yeah, they're gonna want to get their hands on my story badly. And that's why you're looking at something crazy. They're gonna compete hard for that job. I'll pay Peter his $85 million in Canadian money. That's $106 million in New Zealand money. 7 million New Zealand money. That's a nice paycheck for Peter Jackson. Walking away with a nice $60 million check in his bank after taxes. It's a good paycheck for Peter Jackson. It's a lot of money. And then Mel Gibson, I'll pay him his $56 million. Walking away with a nice $27 million check in his bank after taxes. Mel Gibson. It's a good paycheck for him. And those two are going to be competing for the job. Me and VJ are going to test their creativity. Okay, let's ask them a series of questions. Let's see who's better for the job. And you're going to see Peter Jackson and Mel Gibson competing hard. They're going to they want that job badly, man. All right, who are you going to hire? I don't know, man. It's tough. Something tells me Peter Jackson's the right man, obviously, because he did Lord of the Rings. He knows all Lord of the Rings crewmen. But something also tells me Mel Gibson's the right man. You see what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I mentioned Peter Jackson a lot of times in my videos. But I'm speaking hypothetically here. Like, there's a high chance I might hire Mel Gibson. You see what I'm saying? I'm just speaking hypothetically here. You know what I'm saying? But something tells me I might perhaps hire Peter Jackson because he did that masterpiece Lord of the Rings. And he knows all the Lord of the Rings crewmen too. He knows all those guys. He knows the Barry guy. He knows the Fran woman. You know what I'm saying? He knows all the crewmen in Lord of the Rings. He knows all those guys. Whereas Mel Gibson doesn't know the Lord of the Rings crewmen. But it doesn't matter if who I hire. Mel Gibson can still connect with Lord of the Rings crewmen. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, hence why it's going to be a tough choice between Peter Jackson and Mel Gibson. I'm going to fly them to my office. I'm going to ask them a series of questions. Whoever comes with a better answer, that's the director I'm hiring for my movie. And the moment I hire them, they sign that contract, obviously, and then I'll have my account punch in their $10 million bonus, and within the next couple of days, within that very day or like a day afterwards, the money gets wired into their account, and they get their nice $10 million in their account. Peter Jackson gets his nice, $6.8 million after taxes, because Peter Jackson lives in New Zealand, so if I pay him $10 million, that's like 13 million New Zealand money. 13 million after taxes is like what? It's $7.6 million. So Peter Jackson's agent takes 10% of that. Peter Jackson's walking away with he's walking away with like what? A 6.9, $6.8 million check in his bank after taxes. That's a lot of money for 3 years of pre-production. Millions in his bank. It's a good deal for Peter Jackson or Mel Gibson. And then during production, he gets his $65 million. Mel Gibson gets his $40. And then after film is completed, they get their bonuses. Mel Gibson, I'll pay him a $6 million bonus. Peter Jackson, I'll pay him his $10 million bonus. Nice bonus for Peter Jackson. That way, you do that for him. That way, he works harder for you. And they're gonna help me. Okay, this is your duties, guys. Because you're my executive producer, I want you guys helping me and VJ. Hey Peter, you're executive producer of my movie. You're the boss. I need you helping me with the main stuff, with the main like 6-7 things. Help me with the hotel party and red carpet event. We have to call the organizers and owners at Virgin Dark Resort. We need to sign that contract with them. Fly them to Vancouver on our jet, obviously, and we sign that $10 million deal for the red carpet event and the two-day luxury hotel party event. Help me with the IMAX cameras, the best IMAX cameras in the business. We have to rent those. Rent a good 10 of them, that's enough. Update the cameras and rent the best equipment for the cameras. The best drones and equipment for the cameras. The stands, the camera stands, the gliding stuff, the gliding equipment for the cameras. Rent the best stuff for the cameras, obviously. He needs to help me with with the food, the luxury buffet food, called the best farms in Switzerland, the kitchen equipment, obviously, the machine for the mask, obviously, the machining for the clothing and the weapons and the armor. We need to rent the best machinery for the sewing machinery. For what? For custom making the costumes for all the actors and extras, the armor and weapons, and as well as you have to rent the best masks for creating the double masks of Aratat, Ephesus, and all that. You see what I'm saying here? Yeah, he has to help me with the CGI computer technology equipment. Peter Jackson has to help me with that. We can rent the best computer technology software for the CGI technology for my movie, the best in the business. Rent the more computers you buy, the better processing you have. Rent the best machinery computer software home for the CGI technology. I'm gonna put $400+ million towards CGI technology, obviously. Hugh Jackson has to help me with that, obviously. What else does he have to help me with? Yeah, it's pretty much it. Hugh Jackson has to help me with those main things. The cameras, equipment for the cameras, a hotel party, and a red carpet event. Obviously, the CGI computer software technology. Obviously, the machining for the masks. Obviously, the clothing, the sewing equipment, the sewing machinery for the costumes, for creating the costumes for all the actors and extras. The tools for creating the weapons for the Weta Workshop. Obviously, best stuff for Weta Workshop to work with, and the armor too. Obviously, the buffet, the food, the kitchen equipment, the food and drinks, the kitchen equipment, and what else? And that's pretty much it. That's all the main things Peter Jackson has to help me with. Obviously, okay, Peter, help me with these main things, and that's it. With my executive producer, and I'll have him help me sign some of the contracts. You can have Peter Jackson help you sign with the Weta Workshop crewmen the first year. When you fly them in, sign all those guys, pay them their nice $1,000 and their nice $200,000. The supervisor, pay the supervisor of Weta Workshop a nice like $270,000. $50,000 is a good paycheck for him. Pay him a lot of money that way he works hard for you, and pay all his guys a nice $150,000 salary, which is nice. But if I have Weta Workshop start working on the armor and weapons the second year, I'm going to have to cut their salaries, obviously. You can pay them. I can pay the crewmen. I can pay the crewmen a good $30K the second year. Pay them something that will have money to feed their families. Okay, I'll pay you guys your $30K the second year if you're going to start working on the armor and weapons the second year, because they're going to need money to pay their bills. Pay them $30K, and then the fourth year you can pay them their $100K if you want, and then the final year you can pay them $20K. $20K the fourth year. That's a good deal for the crewmen. As in, for Lord of the Rings, they made $30K in total for the whole movie project. I'm gonna give them a good deal. Some zinger. Yeah. Okay, Peter, I want you helping me sign the contracts with the crewmen. The crewmen are going to be flown the first year. So the what? The trainer and nutritionist, I'll be flying them in the first year. Peter Jackson will help me sign those guys, obviously. I'm going to fly in the people overseeing the extras. You have to fly those guys in first, the first year. I'll hire a good 50 team of people. That's enough to handle 6,000 extras. Sign those guys. You also have to sign Weta Workshop, because I want Weta Workshop working on the costumes and weapons like the second year. That way they have more time to create the costumes and weapons. The armor and weapons, right? Obviously, Peter Jackson will help me sign those guys. And I'll have him consult with the 7 teams sometimes for business to help him out. I won't have him consult with them every day. No, consult with him sometimes, help him out, obviously. He's going to help me co-write the script, obviously, every morning. We work on a script for 2.5 hours a day. Slack work. You know what I'm saying? In the afternoon, after everyone eats their lunch, in the afternoon we do board meet. We do the concert. We go to the other building. So the 7 team will be in the office working, and while they're working, I'm gonna be in the other building with Peter Jackson and with Guillermo del Toro, and we're gonna what? We're gonna do the concerts. John Hound Allen Lee will hang all the pictures that they drew for that day, for all the characters and the world building, obviously. And when me, Peter Jackson, VJ, and Guillermo del Toro, and my two supervisors are going to discuss the what pictures are best for the characters and the world building. See what I'm saying here? We discussed that, obviously. We discussed that. Only discussed it for a good 3.5 hours, and at 5 o'clock, everyone's done work. Limo driver will take Peter Jackson, Guillermo del Toro, and the concept artist George Lucas home to the luxury hotel, obviously. And all I asked Peter to do is, okay, I'm going to have my script robots print out a copy of the script for what we wrote on that day. And I want you going to your hotel room, Peter, and taking your notes for those scenes that we wrote for that day. And I'll have Guillermo del Toro help him out. So he has help. He's not stressed out. You even have George Lucas come into his hotel room and help him out. That way Peter and Guillermo del Toro are prepped for the movie. See what I'm saying? That way they're prepped and they're not lost. And I don't want Peter winging it like he did for The Hobbit. I need you prepped for the movie like you were for Lord of the Rings. That way you get a good movie. I don't want you winging it, man. I don't care how good of a director you are. Even good directors can make bad movies. You need to be prepped for Zanus if you want to make a good movie. Peter, I need you prepped. I need you having an idea for every single scene. Take your notes and study it. That way you're prepped when production starts. You're not lost. And you get a good movie like you did for Lord of the Rings. You don't get something messy like the fucking Hobbit. See what I'm saying? You don't get something messy like The Hobbit. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, and that's all Peter Jackson. And then once, okay, dedicate a good hour and a half of your time and take your notes. An hour is good enough. Dedicate a good hour of your time. Go over the scenes very quickly and just take your notes with Guillermo del Toro. And then once you went over your notes, you're free for the rest of the day. And I'll give Peter Jackson all them weekends off. I'll give Peter Jackson, Guillermo del Toro, George Lucas, and the concept artists weekends off. And weekends, if you guys want to see a movie on theaters, there's going to be a lot of movies coming out, obviously. If you guys want to see a big movie on theaters, on weekends, you can do that. If you want to go hang out at the bar on the weekends, you're free. Obviously, but I told you, sometimes I might be working during the weekends. I might have Peter Jackson to meet me in my office, and we go over the script. Obviously, we discuss some stuff about the movie. Sometimes I might do that during the weekends. Because you need to be serious when you work on a movie project. You can't be slacking off. Yeah, I'm going to give you weekends, Peter, but I recommend during the weekends you constantly go over the script and go over your notes. That way you're prepped, obviously. I'm going to tell Peter Jackson, okay, Peter, even though I'm giving you weekends off, I recommend you constantly go over the script daily and go over your notes. That way you're very, very prepped for the movie. So I'm saying you don't get a bad movie. Tell him not the way he knows. And he'll listen to me because I'm the boss. Like, Peter, I'm the boss. Even though you're the boss of the movie, I'm the boss over you. Please listen to me. During the weekends, you're off, you're free, but it doesn't hurt to dedicate a good 30 minutes of your time and go over the script and constantly go over your notes. That way you're prepped, man, for production and you're not lost. You're prepped, you know what you're doing. See what I'm saying? I know what I'm doing, man. If you want to get a good movie, you have to have these directors be prepped. You can't have them be winging it. No, man, you have to have them be prepped for every scene. And because Peter Jackson's a talented director, I'm not worried about him ruining my story. As long as he co-writes it with me, he does a concept art with me, we know the ins and outs of the story, we have the same vision, and he takes his directing notes with Guillermo, and Guillermo del Toro helps him out. I want Guillermo del Toro also studying the script and studying the notes too. That way he's prepped too. He's prepped to help Peter Jackson during the 9 months of filming. Okay, Guillermo del Toro, even though Peter Jackson's director, you're going to be assisting him during the 9 months. I need you studying the script. I need you studying the notes too. That way you're also prepped too and you're not lost during filming. See what I'm saying? That way you're not lost during filming. See what I'm saying? Make sure he's prepped for the Guillermo del Toro. Now something tells me Peter Jackson might hire him as assistant director. Because Guillermo del Toro did The Hobbit, man. He was supposed to direct The Hobbit, but he backed out of the deal, obviously. And then Peter Jackson had to come in and take over, and he only had like a couple months of prep. That's why he got to wing it, obviously. That's why I think Guillermo del Toro is probably the best man to help Peter Jackson for Zanus, because he did The Hobbit. He was a part of pre-production for The Hobbit. He wrote the script. He did the concert art, so I'm saying he will have some good ideas to help Peter Jackson out. You see what I'm saying? With his notes and all stuff. And he'll help me and BJ out with the concert arts, with Aerotat and all of them. See what I'm saying? Yeah, and I'm giving Peter Jackson an unlimited budget for Zanus. $980 million I'm putting towards my Last of Us movie project. $980 million, guys. I'm putting towards the Last of Us movie project. I'm giving Peter Jackson an unlimited budget to work with. That's why he'll be shocked, like, holy shit, Ivan. You know what I'm saying? He's like, how much money you give me, Ivan? I'll give you $980, Peter. How does that sound? Mel Gibson asked me, Ivan, how much money you give me? I don't know, I'll give you $980 million. How's that sound, Mel? They're all shocked. Holy shit, Ivan's company blows all out of the water. Yeah, man. Fucking Lord of the Rings, they gave me a fuck you $90 million budget. They only gave me, like, I don't know, $25 million for fucking special effects, and I pulled it off. Peter Jackson had to be careful with the scenes because Warner Bros. Gave him a shittier budget. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Whereas for my movie, he doesn't have to worry about running out of money for all the scenes. Because every time you film every day, that's a lot of money gets burned every day. You see what I'm saying? Hundreds of thousands of dollars gets burned every day for filming for a movie. Obviously, that's why I gave Peter Jackson unlimited budget. Unlimited budget, man. I gave him an unlimited budget for Zanus. That's where you're going to see how happy he is in my documentary compared to if he's hired, right? You're going to see how happy Peter Jackson is in Zanus compared to fucking Lord of the Rings. Yeah, when you see Peter Jackson in Zanus, you can tell he looks much more happy than fucking Lord of the Rings. Yeah, because I gave him his freedom, obviously. He got his nice perks. He saved too, don't forget, he saved, obviously, and at the same time, what? I gave him an unlimited budget, guys. Whereas for Lord of the Rings, he didn't have an unlimited budget. He had a limited budget. Warner Bros. Only gave Peter Jackson $90 million, like $207 million for the 3 movies of Lord of the Rings. And he had what? He had budget constraints, obviously. Whereas I'm giving him $980 million towards the movie. $410 for salaries. So I gave Peter $410 million for salaries. I can afford to pay all the Lord of the Rings crewmen the rich $150,000. And the supervisors are rich $200K, $220K, $250K. Most of them I'll pay $200K to supervisors, but some of them I'll pay $250, $220. You can pay a few of them $250, $220. I can pay all the main 4 cinematographers for the main scenes a good $2 million, and they're going to work harder for me, obviously. I can pay the main editor $2 million and the assistant $170,000. I can pay the main VFX artist $2 million, and they're going to work harder for me. They're not going to slack off. And Peter Jackson doesn't have to worry about ladders appearing out of nowhere like you got for Two Towers. Even though Two Towers was a masterpiece, you know what I'm saying? The one major flaw in that movie was the ladders, man. When you guys know what I'm talking about, yeah, I saw Lord of the Rings, when you saw the Orc Army, they weren't carrying any ladders, man. And all of a sudden, when they approach Helm's Deep, you get like 10 ladders appearing out of nowhere. A plot hole in the story, obviously. Why? Because the fucking special effects people, they slacked off for that scene, obviously. They worked hard, obviously. They worked their asses off.